Broadcast Row for the Now generation. And now a special presentation from Broadcast Row. Broadcasting live from the greatest city in the world. Wake up. It's time, people, for your morning online gathering. Hosted by Mardel. It's the Wrestling Morning Show. And it starts now.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Wrestling Morning Show. This is your host, Mardel. It's 9:05 Eastern Standard Time, and I want to thank everybody for joining us this morning. Wow, we have a lot of things to talk about. What a Raw last night. I want to say it was probably one of the best Monday Night Raws in months. Now, if you watched wrestling in the last 6, maybe 7, 8 months, their go-home shows have not been go-home shows. Last night was the epitome of a go-home show in this month of November to promote Survivor Series. So many things happened, not to mention what was even bigger might have been the speculations of what was going to happen last night. And of course, we're talking about Paige, as there was several photos online of her being in Atlanta. We know that she was very near to coming back. I believe she'll probably play into the cards coming up very soon. Obviously, she did not appear last night. But what does this mean for Survivor Series? Also, what does this mean for SmackDown? Why are we assuming Raw here? Unless there's something possibly that I missed. And of course, she could possibly return the Monday after Survivor Series or even in December. There's a lot of speculation out there. We're going to get to that. We're also going to take some of your calls and text messages. The number's 844-627-3352. That's 844-627-3352. Follow us on Twitter at Live Morning Show. You can stream live from Twitter. Of course, also Facebook at The Wrestling Morning Show. The website, thewrestlingmorningshow.com. Those are all great places to stream, or guess what? You could download our very own app in iTunes and Google Play, The Wrestling Morning Show. Last night, ladies and gentlemen, Raw kicked off with such a great crowd, and now I know why they call it Hot Atlanta. Big shout out to Atlanta last night. You guys killed it. If anybody's from Atlanta, thank you so much. You guys made the show last night. It just proves once again, it doesn't have to be the biggest market in the world. Now, granted, one of the biggest cities in the country, of course, is Atlanta, and they did not disappoint. They started hot, they finished hot, and maybe really a 1 or 2 segments was a lull. But other than that, 3 hours, you guys were going strong. I know you guys probably obviously showed up at least an hour before just to be in your seats and grab your refreshments and your concessions. So, Jason Jordan, that's another thing. We're all going to be talking about Jason Jordan today. We're going to talk about Triple H today. We already mentioned Paige. We're going to mention what's going on with AJ and Brock Lesnar. So many things to get to today. Not to mention on Twitter at Live Morning Show, our polls, they're obviously open. We used to do just maybe 24 hours. Now we extend them the entire week. Go on to the polls and please, please vote. It's very important because we love playing the Twitter game later on in the program. We're going to be joined later on by Brett Coder for the Code Break. So I'm excited about that. We have a lot of show lined up. Let's kick it off, ladies and gentlemen, last night with probably the most important segment, and that's Kurt Angle in the ring about to make a major decision.
Stephanie talked earlier tonight about decisions that you have to make as a leader. And the decision I'm about to make could be the toughest decision I've made in my entire career. My son Jason Jordan was injured tonight in his match against Bray Wyatt.
You got to love the fact that
so as the Raw general manager and the leader of my team heading into Survivor Series, I cannot allow my son Jason Jordan to compete. And I have decided to name a replacement. do this. Jason, don't make this any harder than it is.
Don't take this away from me. I've worked my entire life to get to this point. This is Survivor Series. This is the one time that Raw and SmackDown go head-to-head in direct competition. This was gonna be the first time that I got to fight side by side with my father.
Jason, I can't do it. You're injured.
But by Sunday, I'll be fine.
I need you at 100%. You're not 100%.
I'll be fine. By Sunday, I will be fine. You were injured.
Jason, you got your whole career in front of you.
No. You were injured. And you won a freaking gold medal. I'm just like you. I can do this.
It's not worth it, Jason.
It is worth it. It is worth it. I have emulated you my entire life. In high school, in college. Kurt, you were my idol. Coming over to Raw, being able to compete on your show, this has been a dream come true for me. But to be honest, you know you didn't pick me out of favoritism. You picked me because I was the best option. Don't take that away from me. I won't get another chance like this. It is an honor to represent Raw, to represent the superstars in the back. Don't take that from me. Please don't take that from me. This is the one time to be in this ring, in a match with my father. Please reconsider this. Please.
Give me a break, Kurt. Tell me you're not actually considering this. Make the announcement and do it now.
I'm enjoying this drama, by the way. I'm enjoying this. And the crowd's into it. I love, oh wow.
Oh my God! It's WWE COO Triple H!
Now, obviously, on television, we heard this pop, and it was unbelievable. Can you only imagine how it was in Atlanta? It was awesome to see him. Obviously, it's no secret. For the last couple weeks, he has been wrestling, especially overseas. A lot of the darker matches, non-televised programming. Getting ready for this.
If you won't make the damn announcement, I will. The 5th member of Team Raw is me.
Oh my God! What?
Jordan's mouthing to Kurt, Dad. The entire crowd is chanting pedigree. Like, we don't know what's going to happen here.
Kid just learned a lesson.
And Booker T, the kid just learned a lesson. Of course, they leave the scene with Kurt hovering over Jason, his son. Well, that was best for business. We knew it was coming. You kind of realized, obviously, the biggest indicators when he got hurt, when he was facing Bray Wyatt earlier in the program. And then they had a backstage segment. And Kurt's explained to his son, you have to be healthy. I don't want to risk a hurt individual on Team Raw. This is the defining Rocky Maivia moment. We've talked about this since day one when this happened. Not only physically, does he remind us a lot of Rocky Maivia, of course, The Rock for the casual fans. But the guy could go in the ring. And this all shucks face, really. This is his moment. So, of course, people are going to hate him. Yeah, they do. But I'm loving this. I think this whole thing was created from day one. So, all right. That was pretty much the biggest highlight. Triple H now, he's part of Survivor Series for Team Raw. More importantly, this is going to be starting, in my opinion, a feud between Triple H and Kurt Angle. Now, how does Jason Jordan fit in for Team Raw? Or, sorry, better yet, how does he fit into the landscape of Survivor Series? Because he's not part of Team Raw anymore. Now, he may, in my opinion, probably we won't see him at Survivor Series. He comes and saves the day at one point. Maybe that's another addition to the storyline, but I don't think we'll see him. We're going to let Jason Jordan have his feelings hurt. He'll come back. This could set up something big. Maybe not in December, maybe Royal Rumble. Who knows? So right now, this is a loaded, unbelievably talented roster of men for the 5-on-5 Survivor Series elimination match. Team Raw, Kurt Angle, Braun Strowman, Finn Balor, Samoa Joe, and Triple H. Team SmackDown, Shane O'Mac, Randy Orton, Bobby Roode, Shinsuke Nakamura, and the great John Cena. There are a lot of world titles. We have 13, 16. There's a lot. These are guys with double-digit title runs. It's unbelievable. This is also great for Shinsuke Nakamura, continuing to appeal to some of the casual fans. Same with Finn Balor, Samoa Joe, Bobby Roode. All eyes are on this. You got Triple H, you got Shane O'Mac, you got Kurt Angle, you got John Cena, you got Randy Orton. These established names. Now, of course, Shinsuke Nakamura, one of the greatest of all time. Bobby Roode, a great wrestler. Finn Balor, Samoa Joe. But to the casual fans, do we really know them? Casual fans are casual fans. They pop in once a month, maybe twice a month. They're not watching NXT. They may have the network, and if they do, they may only watch some of the major pay-per-views, like Mania, Rumble, and hopefully Survivor Series. Especially with the stacked card, the Shield, they're back. Brock Lesnar, AJ Styles. So that was the highlight. That was the biggest news. I mean, for me, yes, Triple H is that fifth member. And you knew as soon as Jason Jordan limped off against the return of Bray Wyatt, we totally forgot to mention that, the return of Bray Wyatt. We knew there was going to be a fifth member. It turned out to be Triple H. I even had a poll question out there, having you guess. And Triple H obviously was probably the front runner. As I mentioned, he's been doing a lot of these dark matches, a lot of these the house shows overseas. He's been joining the Shield. He's been actually teaming with Samoa Joe, stuff like that. So this is all to get the ring rust off. One element that we don't talk about, I still believe Kevin Owens, and we'll find out later on tonight. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. Something's going down. They're going to ruin it for SmackDown. They're either going to help Raw in some way, or a crazy idea that Coder brought up, we talked about on the show last week. What happens if Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn actually end up hurting two of the members and they have to be in it? Now, obviously, this was a work. where they're kicked off the tour. Just adding on to the storyline, which I love. The number's 844-627-3352. That is the call line and the text line. I want to hear from you. What's on your mind? Do you agree with what I say? Do you completely disagree? We could talk about it. I want to hear your opinions. It's the one thing I love about wrestling compared to any other entertainment, any other sport. It's all subjective. You have your own opinion. I respect that. I may not agree with it. You may not agree with mine. At least we're having a conversation. And a lot of shows out there that talk about wrestling, podcasts, radio shows. Not a lot of discussion, not a lot of thought. It's all heavy opinion-based. And of course, a lot of cursing and trying to put themselves over. Me, I'll never get over, so I don't even try. But the number's 844-627-3352. It's the Wrestling Morning Show. Follow us on Twitter at Live Morning Show. And, of course, the website is thewrestlingmorningshow.com. All information you need. Very simple, very clean website. Go on there. We got more information for you. And we also want to mention Bray Wyatt's back and got a lot of love. Got a lot of love last night. It was awesome to see that, by the way. Not only did he get a lot of love, but when now, shockingly enough, same old Bray, ends up doing the job to Jason Jordan. And, of course, Jordan wins on a roll-up. I'm sick of these roll-ups, by the way. Bray goes and attacks Jason Jordan. Place explodes. Not only did it explode, the chants of "Thank you, Wyatt." Deafening. Thank you, Wyatt. Just continues to add to the psyche of Jason Jordan. He's building this up. It's good to see Bray Wyatt, though. So I'm curious. He'll be a non-factor, obviously, at Survivor Series. Maybe not, obviously. Maybe a little bit more. Who knows? But we'll see how that plays out. It was good to see him. So not only that, all day on the internet, it was Paige. And then probably about 2 to 3 hours before Raw actually started, there was, of course, pictures of Paige. And she was reportedly in Atlanta. Okay, that's cool, right? It'd be great to see Paige. So the women had a triple threat match for the 5th spot. That wasn't going to happen. And all we saw from Alexa Bliss was just a backstage interview. Very brief, by the way. Not enough Alexa Bliss, which is a little upsetting. So that brings up the thought of, okay, when will we see Paige? And since we really don't know, I don't want to go and speculate. Could be at Survivor Series. Could she pop up on SmackDown later on tonight? Could she pop up the Monday after Survivor Series? Remember, we're in November sweeps. There are constant photos of Paige at the Performance Center. Not to mention she has tweeted that she's been at the Performance Center getting ready. The comeback is soon. So then, as we mentioned, when photos surface that she's in Atlanta, then everybody's talking about it. Everybody has a speculation. I got caught up with it last night. I really did. I got caught up. Is that an Usher song? But yeah, I got caught up. I thought maybe she would debut, but then I realized it really doesn't make sense. But what does make sense is Paige is coming soon. So get ready for it. And whoever she wrestles, if it's on the Raw brand or the SmackDown brand, she's just going to elevate the entire roster because she's that good. Now, before she left, she did get lost in the shuffle a little bit. This was during the Women's Revolution. And really, not that everybody lived up to their potential with the Women's Revolution. But, I mean, Paige is beloved. She's beloved. She really is. And I'm not going to buy in or even talk about her personal life, but there are stories out there about her personal life. And she's had a rough couple months. Not only that, you're nursing an injury. Not only an injury that possibly could end your career. The only real job, only real lifestyle she's ever known. The girl started wrestling at 13, I believe. The entire family wrestled, as many of you guys know. The Beavis family. They have their own promotion. So mentally, it takes a toll on you. Not to mention mentally, you've been on the road pretty much your entire adult life. Was she signed 18 or 19 with the WWE? And it's also that instant fame. So it's taken a lot on her, and she got married, as you guys know, to Del Rio. But that's also what we talked about. I'm not going to speculate. I don't know. I'm not going to gossip. You guys have an opinion, let me know. 844-627-3352. If you're just joining us, yes, Triple H has become the fifth man for Team Raw. Jason Jordan's out, nursing an injury, had his Rocky Maivia moment. This could have been the moment where he snaps. Last night, being told, he was about to be told by his father, Kurt, that he was not going to be part of Team Raw. And of course, Kurt couldn't do it. So Triple H comes out, lets the world know he's the fifth member, gives Jason Jordan a pedigree, and there you go. And of course, the crowd just erupted. They loved it so much. It's amazing with Triple H, though. When it's Triple H, the wrestler, there's so much love for him. When it's Triple H, the COO, Paul Levesque, the King of Kings, that's when we get boos. I'm glad he's back, man. He makes everything better. But I do want to go to the top of the show because the top of the show opened up really hot. I want to refresh in your memory with this audio. Stephanie, Kurt, and of course, the original Shield. That's all we heard last night. The original Shield. Why were they saying the original Shield? I even made this comment on Twitter. Well, what Shield are they talking about? The NFL Shield? Television show Shield with Michael Chiklis? Agents of Shield? What? Couldn't they just say the Shield? I don't know. Let's go back and refresh your memory from the top of Monday Night Raw. You're listening to the Wrestling Morning Show.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Monday Night Raw! Now, as the commissioner of Monday Night Raw, I have to make a lot of decisions. Decisions that not only impact the WWE Universe, but they impact shareholders and WWE employees all over the world. Decisions of such magnitude that you can't possibly fathom or understand in your everyday, normal lives. So I need true leaders who can help me execute those decisions. Leaders like the general manager of Monday Night Raw. So, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce Olympic gold medalist, WWE Hall of Famer, and the team captain of Raw vs. Survivor Series, Kurt Angle!
Stephanie, I understand that you may be upset, but I was 100% prepared for SmackDown's raid last week.
Kurt, I'm not upset. What would make you think that I'm upset? I mean, but on that subject and your preparation, how did the New Day actually get into our building last week?
I don't know.
You don't know. Well, at least you're honest, right? Totally honest. And was there actually a raid? I mean, because you valiantly led the entire Raw locker room out to ringside. I mean, yeah, pat down the hatches, you gathered everybody.
I was just trying to be prepared.
Yeah, no, you were, but my question was there a raid? Or did my brother just manipulate you again? You know, I think actually for Raw's 25th anniversary on January 22nd, I could put together a compilation reel from Survivor Series. First of all, Shane put Raw under siege with the entire SmackDown locker room, pretty much laid everybody out. Then the New Day sneaks into our building, and then you valiantly lead a team, the entire Raw locker room out to face nothing. Right? Okay, but listen, I'm being a little hard on you, right? These people believe in you, they cheer for you, sort of. So you're going to make good on it. And then you name the 5th member for Team Raw for Survivor Series, who is...
Jason Jordan.
And who is Jason Jordan?
Jason's more than capable of being on this team.
No, that's not my question. I said, who is Jason Jordan?
My son.
Oh, he's your son. Jason Jordan's your son. And what accolades or achievements does he have that make him a valuable member to Team Raw?
He's very talented.
Okay, let me ask this question another way. Who is SmackDown's 5th member?
John Cena.
John Cena. 16-time world champion John Cena, franchise player John Cena. Now, the last time I saw John Cena, he was actually here on Monday Night Raw. So that means one of two things. Either A, you chose Jason Jordan, your son, instead of John Cena to be on Team Raw, or John Cena was so embarrassed by your actions as team captain for Monday Night Raw that he just decided he'd rather be on SmackDown. Which one is it?
You'll have to ask John Cena.
Oh, that's a good answer. Okay, so do you people still believe in Kurt? You do? Okay, then I'm gonna give you another chance. What is the very first thing that you're gonna do at Survivor Series? What's the very first thing you're gonna do?
I'm gonna break your brother's ankle. That's the first thing I'm gonna do. I'm the captain of my team, so I'm gonna start the match. And if Shane has any balls whatsoever, he'll start the match too.
You're gonna start the match. You're gonna break Shane's ankle. That's awesome, Kurt. What do you think this is, the 1990s? You think Kurt's gonna go mano a mano with you in the ring? That Shane's gonna actually put himself on the line like that? Shane's gonna let everybody else do the dirty work. I mean, when are you gonna get this through your thick head? And by the way, Kurt, I don't even think you're capable of breaking anyone's ankle anymore. You know what I think? I think you've gotten soft. I think you're too nice. You've underestimated everyone at every turn. I think I've made the biggest mistake of my entire career by making you the team captain of Monday Night Raw. Don't you understand what's on the line? My brother is trying to ruin the show that my father created 25 years ago. And we have put our faith in you. And everything you have said out here tonight, I wanted to give you a chance. But nothing you have said has made me change my mind. Nothing. I don't want an ankle, Kurt. I want my brother's head on a platter. I want you to decimate Team SmackDown. I want them gone. Therefore, you have left me no other choice. Kurt Angle.
Gentlemen, release the hounds.
Kurt Angle just took a deep breath as the Shield entered the building. And I mean the Shield in full force.
Brothers to the bone, baby.
Ambrose, Rollins, and Reigns. Later on tonight here on Monday Night Raw, the Hounds of Justice return to action for the first time in over 3 years when they take on Intercontinental Champion The Miz and the Tag Team Champions Sheamus and Cesaro here tonight live.
I don't know what this is all about right now, but I can assure you Rollins and Ambrose still haven't gotten that sour taste out of their mouth from last week when they lost the Raw Tag Team titles. No, Corey, it's about 3 guys that walk to the beat of their own drum.
three bad dudes.
But again, we did not expect the Shield here at this moment during this intense confrontation between boss and employee, Stephanie and Kurt Angle.
This entire arena is on its feet.
Together, people, are you chanting for the Shield or aren't you?
I'm sorry, did I hear you right back there? You said you're looking for a leader? Well, let me tell you this right now. We've seen a lot of them come and go, and there is none better than Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle is our guy to TLC. He proved he still got it.
Well, he may still have it. Here we go. Kurt may still have it, whatever that is, but you guys seem to be missing something. I mean, where are the tag team titles? Oh, that's right. You lost them. You lost them because of Kurt Angle. As a matter of fact, are you guys even competing at Survivor Series, or did Kurt overlook you again? I mean, you can answer that question for yourselves, or is it not Kurt to blame? Is it the New Day, who you allowed to make you look like fools, just like Kurt Angle? And you, where the hell have you even been?
You got a lot of questions. How about we spin this? How about I ask you a question? Where the hell have you been? We haven't seen you in like 6 or 7 months, and really all that happened to you was you went through a table at WrestleMania? Hold on, let me rephrase that, because I don't want to get you in trouble. Your husband put you through a table at WrestleMania. I don't know, maybe in your time off you forgot how this whole operation runs, but we don't do what you tell us to do. We do what we want to do. Would you like to know what we would like to do?
Oh, please, enlighten me.
Atlanta, you want to know what we want to do? We want to fight the New Day. So if the New Day has any balls and they accept, then we will be booked at Survivor Series. Because it's going to be the New Day versus the Shield. And don't worry, we're going to handle it all, because Kurt's going to lead Team Red, Team Raw to victory. And we're going to whoop the New Day's ass and destroy them.
I hope the New Day was listening from SmackDown Live, because, fellas, the challenge has been laid out.
There you go. That's the original Shield. That was so cringeworthy last night. I mentioned that on Twitter, by the way. Numbers 844-627-3352. I got to say, great to have Roman back. Love him or hate him, we watch. And we all have an opinion on Roman Reigns. And he handled the mic very nicely, by the way. Getting more comfortable. Really has nothing to lose. People love him, people hate him. That's good. If they were just, no opinion, then no one would care. We have a lot of show left on this program. Coming up in the next hour, we're going to have the Code Break with Brent Coder. Very excited about that. There's so much more. We have not even cracked the surface of the Wrestling Morning Show. We're going to give you a full preview of Survivor Series, not to mention a full preview of SmackDown. A lot more. The number's 844-627-3352. It's the Wrestling Morning Show This is Mardel. We'll be right back.
The Wrestling Morning Show with Mardel, live on Broadcast Row. If you're a face, listen to the show at home, in the car, at work, and the gym. If you're a heel, listen to the show anywhere you fucking want. Wake up and join your favorite morning online gathering. Call or text 844-627-3352. That's 844-627-3352. Now back to the Wrestling Morning Show.
All right, we're back, everybody. How's your morning going, by the way? Now, a lot of you guys are just getting up. A lot of you guys are already on the road. A lot of you guys have been on the road. A lot of you guys have already been at work for a while, wherever you're at. East Coast, Midwest, West Coast, overseas. Thank you for listening. We do this every Tuesday, every Wednesday. And, of course, if you can't listen live, which the entire premise of the show is the Wrestling Morning Show, it's a live show. Now, I understand. Sometimes you can't. We also try to make the show PG. First of all, I'm an adult. I don't need to curse to pop you guys or to get over. So we try to have it very work-friendly. Last thing I need is you guys are able to actually listen to something at work, and all of a sudden we start cursing. And, of course, you'll never listen again because you can't. So we try to keep it as clean as possible. If you guys can't listen live, first of all, subscribe to the podcast on iTunes and Google Play. And, of course, once the show goes off the air, give us about an hour or so, then it becomes on demand in iTunes, Google Play, Spreaker, Stitcher, SoundCloud, YouTube, iHeartRadio. All right, I was pretty surprised last week when AJ defeated Jinder Mahal. I was, especially with the Indian tour coming up. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, there has to be a reason. Every time I get upset of a direction the WWE is going in, one of two things happens. One, I get over it and I think, okay, well, why did they do this? So, why did they do this? I think there's could be two reasons here. One, simply to have a dream matchup between AJ and Brock Lesnar. And with both men being 40 years old, they probably are not going to face each other anytime soon. Probably not within at least the full calendar year of today's date. Go ahead. It's a one-off. Not a big deal. Number two, AJ has the title right now. All eyes are on Brock and AJ. And, of course, nobody really cared as much to have Jinder versus Brock. I'm sure people in India, they know who Brock Lesnar is. Maybe. Obviously, he'd be portrayed as a great villain because we know how he's perceived in India. He's a great hero to the 1.3 billion people. Now, they are going to India. But how great would it be for a hero's welcome in the gimmick hometown of Jinder Mahal, and he defeats the American AJ Styles? I would not be surprised. And actually, this would be kind of cool, even if you hate Jinder Mahal, if they actually televise this on the network. Why not? They've televised a lot of these shows. There's no pyro. There's none of this. It would be awesome just to see the reception Jinder would get. I think it would be cool as a fan, whether you love or hate Jinder Mahal. So I think AJ is just holding the title for now. Now, a lot of us speculated. A lot of us still think, I do. I thought for sure, and this would also make sense and prove to the theory, if AJ loses, drops the title to Jinder in India, when do they face off next? They face off at the Royal Rumble. And AJ goes over. And who wins the Rumble, as you guys know? Nakamura. These guys were in the ring together, and they had some words with each other at a house show recently. And the entire crowd started chanting WrestleMania. I think the world, the eyes, if you win the eyes from Japan on this, You want eyes from around the world? Two of the greatest in-ring performers, Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles? Go for it. WrestleMania. I think the day of, well, that's WrestleMania worthy. That's out the window. That is, even though it may not be the case for a Monday Night Raw or a SmackDown or NXT, because when it comes to pay-per-views and shoving matches together, that's what they're doing. May not be crash TVs, they would call it back in the day. Get the very best segments in and make sure every segment counted. But they've been throwing just a lot of dream matches. They're not worried about WrestleMania. Like it's not going to sell out. Like every wrestling fan is not going to watch it. Like they can't recycle some of these matches. So the build-up. We knew Brock Lesnar was going to be on the show last night. It was still, my God, if you didn't watch it, you're just getting the recap from me. Thank you for trusting me with recapping you. It was amazing. It was just a great, great show last night. Rarely was there a segment that was boring at all. Everything had a purpose. And one thing from last night, of course, Brock Lesnar, and of course, we had Paulie Heyman. This was kind of the last sell. A hot crowd. They were loving AJ. You got to remember, this is Atlanta, Georgia. That's the biggest major city next to his hometown. So this was a pro AJ crowd. But don't get me wrong. I mean, come on. Lesnar has reached the kind of the grounds of being a legend, an icon in this business. And remember that, AJ's built from Gainesville, Georgia. Gainesville, Georgia. So Atlanta truly is his hometown. Let's go back and let's refresh your memory right here. And the crowd is already chanting AJ Styles Suplex City.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman, and I am the advocate for the reigning, defending, undisputed Universal Champion, Brock Lesnar! My client has authorized me to come out here tonight and dogmatize the top 5 selling points why you need to be a subscriber to the WWE Network by the time Survivor Series comes on the air this Sunday night. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you selling point number 1. This is the very first time in history that a Universal Champion will be going one-on-one with a WWE Champion. It's the very first time in history that Brock Lesnar will step into the ring against AJ Styles. And to be perfectly candid with you, this may be the only time that Brock Lesnar ever steps into the ring with AJ Styles. So, ladies and gentlemen, pardon the oversimplification. If you want to see Brock Lesnar versus AJ Styles, it happens this Sunday at Survivor Series on the WWE Network. So don't miss it. That's not a bad selling point. That's number 1. I got 4 more to go. 4 more. Selling point number 2, ladies and gentlemen, is a very selfish selling point. As the advocate, I want to see Brock Lesnar versus AJ Styles. No one knows Brock Lesnar better than I do. No one can tell you the virtues of Brock Lesnar better than his own advocate. I have seen them put Brock Lesnar in the ring this year alone against opponents that are bigger. I have seen them put Brock Lesnar in the ring this year alone with opponents that are stronger. I have never seen in 15 years Brock Lesnar in the ring with anyone that could claim to be better than Brock Lesnar. AJ Styles, you, sir, present an interesting dichotomy. AJ Styles is elusive yet abusive. His defense is evasive. His offense is persuasive. And AJ Styles has mastered something that they teach you in UFC, that they teach you in boxing, and that we've learned here in WWE. Speed kills. And AJ Styles, you do have the advantage in speed, and that's not all you have to offer, because selling point number 3, in my opinion, AJ Styles
Paul Heyman seems a little confused. They're chanting, "She said yes." Somebody in the WWE Universe just proposed.
Hey, just so you know, she only said yes because she's never been up close to a beast like Brock Lesnar. Just so you know, interrupting my promo is like stepping into the ring with Brock Lesnar. You ain't got a chance! As I was saying, selling point number 3, ladies and gentlemen, AJ Styles is the single most talented in-ring performer of this generation. And there are those who say, well, maybe that honor belongs to Finn Balor. And I'll let those two fight it out to see who really is the best in-ring performer. But this much I can tell you. Stylistically, AJ Styles is the ultimate opponent for Brock Lesnar. You want to see someone on a roll? I give you AJ Styles. You want to see someone with more momentum in WWE than anybody besides Brock Lesnar? I give you AJ Styles. You want to see a WWE champion that can be respected and admired? I give you AJ Styles. The only thing here is AJ Styles has to now come from behind. AJ Styles has to be the ultimate underdog, because this good old boy from Georgia is gonna step into the ring with a 6'3", 285-pound Georgia Bulldog eating carnivore that this Sunday at Survivor Series will make the declarative statement that he and he alone, Brock Lesnar, is the #1 champion in WWE, then, now, and forever. And these are the odds that AJ Styles has to overcome, which leads me to selling point number 4. If you want to see a Rocky movie come to life, I give you AJ Styles. Ladies and gentlemen, neither my client nor I disagree with you. AJ Styles is the ultimate underdog. This year, in the past 12 months alone, AJ Styles has scored definitive victories over John Cena, over Shane McMahon, over Jinder Mahal to become the WWE champion, which is why this is such a compelling, riveting story this Sunday. The ultimate Rocky movie come to life, except selling point F5. This ain't no freaking Rocky movie. This is Survivor Series. And AJ Styles, you can't survive Suplex City. You can't survive the onslaught of the Beast. You can't survive the onslaught of the Conqueror. You can't survive the F5. AJ Styles, I look forward to watching you up close and in person this Sunday. And I look even more forward to pontificating on your heroic effort. on the night at Survivor Series, the WWE champion stepped into the ring, put on the show of his life, and got beaten, victimized, and conquered by the reigning, defending, undisputed, Universal Champion, Brock Lesnar.
Okay, that was something different from Paulie. Once again, it's a little bit tougher to sell this. It's just happened last week that AJ became champion. But, once again, it's Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar. Versus the phenomenal AJ Styles. Sold. Yeah, you wouldn't have to ever come out and promote it. Those two names. No, they're coming out and they're wrestling. Who's the better champion? Simply put. It's the Wrestling Morning Show, 844-627-3352. Do me a solid. Follow us on Twitter if you want. Follow us. You don't have to. It's at Live Morning Show. Go to the website, thewrestlingmorningshow.com. Now, if you're really being friendly right now, maybe you subscribe to the podcast. Available on iTunes and Google Play. That would mean a lot. Therefore, you'd have it there, pop up on your phone, and you can listen. And then we know that when we wake up early, every Tuesday and Wednesday morning, we're not just doing it to hear our own voices. Sometimes, unfortunately, that happens. So if you can't listen live, listen on demand. Available in iTunes, Google Play, Spreaker, Stitcher, SoundCloud, YouTube, iHeartRadio. Pretty much everywhere, man. Everywhere.
Wake up and join your favorite morning online gathering. Call or text 844-627-3352. That's 844-627-3352. Now back to the Wrestling Morning Show.
All right, so welcome back. We talked a lot in that first hour about what went on last night on Monday Night Raw. It is 10 o'clock on the dot Eastern Standard Time. For the good people who are listening to the program, thank you very much. Of course, follow us on Twitter at Live Morning Show. Want to give a shout out to the 773 phone number. Shot me a text almost an hour ago. The Jason Jordan project has failed. Wonder what they will do with him now. This has kind of been a hot button issue. There's a lot of people who just hate Jason Jordan. That's fine. At least he's getting a reaction. I really do believe this is going to be a good payoff. This is a slow process on his way to becoming a great heel. We'll talk about that with Coder. Coder, I believe, despises Jason Jordan. I kind of enjoy this. Now, if they continue to bill him as a face, okay, we may have some problems, and then it becomes force-fed. But this has to be a situation where he's going to betray his father, right? I mean, he has to. They're setting everything up. The guy, now, after finding out that Kurt Angle is his father, having an opportunity to be in Survivor Series, now it's taken away from him. So we shall soon see how that takes place. We're also going to talk about Paige. We talked about it earlier in the top of the last hour. That was the big thing. Everybody was buzzing. Was Paige going to show up? Was Paige going to show up? Photos circulated of her being in Atlanta. Then, obviously the excitement, we got carried away with that, but now we kind of relax. We think about it for a second. She's been at the Performance Center getting ready, knocking that rust off, which is fine. When does she come back? Do we see her at Survivor Series? Do we even see her maybe even tonight? I might have been a little delusional to think she was going to appear on Monday Night Raw. Could she appear on SmackDown? This is the perfect time for her to come back. She got lost in the shuffle, I believe, when it was time for the Women's Revolution. And all the focus was on Sasha and Bayley, Becky, Charlotte. Okay, things have marinated. We saw Naomi as a champion. We saw Charlotte kind of take a couple weeks off because of her father. We saw, more importantly, the fatigue that people were having with Bayley and Sasha. Bayley was getting booed out of the building. Do you guys not remember that a couple months ago? That happened. A couple other things just to, if you're just joining us on the program. It started out with Stephanie, introduces Angle, and the Shield enters. They call out New Day. New Day accepts VI Twitter. Then we had Mickey versus Dana Brooke versus Bayley. Another match where there's multiple female competitors, and Bayley wins. Bayley to belly, and she wins. She becomes the 5th person for Team Raw. That's led by the crazy Alicia Fox, which I'm actually kind of enjoying that gimmick. Then we move on to Enzo and Gulag versus Kalisto and Tozawa. It's also mentioned that Enzo will be taking on Kalisto, and this is going to, I believe, be the kickoff match. Not for the pay-per-view, but for the kickoff show, we'll see Enzo versus Kalisto. This is going to be for the Cruiserweight Championship. We get to Miz TV, where his guests are Cesaro and Sheamus. And that's when after that, we had the infamous Jason Jordan, Bray Wyatt. Great to see Bray Wyatt back. Jordan gets the win over Bray. Shocker. Bray doing the job. Of course, Jordan gets with the roll-up, which is annoying. But then, of course, Bray attacks Jason Jordan, hurts him. The entire Atlanta crowd chanting, "Thank you, Wyatt." That was definitely one of the highlights. Then Brock and Paul come out. They're interrupted with "She said yes" chants. They're breaking the fourth wall. It's nice. They're trying to build up AJ and Brock. There's no need. It's Brock Lesnar and AJ Styles. We move on to the top of the hour. It's 10 o'clock Eastern. The Shield versus The Miz and The Bar. First time in 3 years, The Shield all together in the same match. We get a spear, then a triple power bomb on The Miz. Shield go over it. It's the original Shield. So cringeworthy. The original Shield. Kurt comes out, has to make a tough decision. A nice dramatic tone. Replaces Jason Jordan. Triple H comes out, gives Jordan a pedigree. Then we move on to Finn and Joe. That's Samoa Joe versus Gallows and Anderson. Finn gets the pin, and before there could be any celebration, Samoa Joe leaves. Not really a fan, just leaves. Now, the very end, the finale. Kane, who's being billed, by the way, as the most destructive force in the history of the WWE in the last 2 or 3 weeks since his return, takes on Braun Strowman. They go through the ring. And that's it. We don't know what happened. We don't know where they went. Did they go to hell? Did they go to Dunkin' Donuts? We don't know. If you guys know, please let me know. It's 10:05 Eastern Standard Time. 844-627-3352. That's 844-627-3352. In about 10 minutes, we're going to have Coder on the program for the code break. What a world of difference. We have a lot to talk about, especially with amazing Raw. Let's not forget how awesome Raw was last night. I can honestly say this. This was the best go-home show in probably 8 to 9 months. I have mentioned on this program, as we focus, obviously, severely on Monday Night Raw and SmackDown, and we get geared up for pay-per-views, the go-home shows in the past have not been true go-home shows. If anything, they may occur 2 weeks before the pay-per-view, which has kind of been the trend. This was a go-home show last night. And there is no way tonight on SmackDown it's going to be a weak show. It just can't be. They can't do this. Not to mention, finally, will Raw retaliate? I think all eyes will be on SmackDown tonight, as it should be, because there's a pay-per-view Sunday. And let's also think about the economics of things. It's November sweeps. This is what they're judged on. So I'm expecting a great retaliation. I would not be surprised if we see the Shield. I would not be surprised if we see the 5 men for Team Raw. I wouldn't be surprised of anything. SmackDown needs a great show. It's really led by 2 people. That's Bacon. Sorry. Kevin Owens, if you don't listen to the program. Kevin Owens is Bacon. He makes just everything better. much like bacon. And, of course, AJ Styles. We put up a lot of questions on Twitter asking you guys, and my God, everybody was online last night. That was awesome. It's like the old days. A lot of great questions on Twitter. You can fill them out. We've extended some of the days on them, and some of the questions, of course, passé, meaning as they're not important. You don't really have to answer some of them, because some of them were live tweets that concerned a moment on Monday Night Raw. If you guys are new to the program, first of all, thank you. First and foremost, thank you. We do the show every Tuesday, every Wednesday. We go live. We try to recap Monday Night Raw, but more importantly, we try to kind of give our own spin about Monday Night Raw and SmackDown. Just let you guys think. It's more conversational. I've said this in the past. It's very hard doing a live radio morning show about wrestling. And, of course, you guys have a lot of options of podcasts and other wrestling radio shows. But really, essentially, let's just face it, they're all the same. I'm not trying to be a bad guy here. But, you know, it's three guys all trying to pop each other. All try to use curse words. And, you know, these are probably men in their 30s, 40s, and 50s talking about this. There's no need for that. I'm not going to be in a situation where I'm going to curse. Because I want you guys to listen at work or with your kids. Why would I alienate anybody like that? Plus, it's just so cliche. Try to be a little different. We also try to bring up different ideas that hopefully you have not thought about. Make you think while you listen to the program. First of all, it's not that serious. Just trying to have fun in the morning. So we do this every Tuesday and Wednesday now. Also a reminder, of course, when this show goes off the air, if you cannot listen to its entirety, show goes on demand. We edit out most of the commercials. We also edit out some of the lull of the show. Try to compact it to 60, 90 minutes max so you guys can listen to the program anytime you would like. And, of course, it's on demand in podcast form at iTunes, Google Play, Spreaker, Stitcher, SoundCloud, YouTube, and iHeartRadio. Should be fun tonight. Now, Charlotte versus Natalya. Are they trying to shock and awe us tonight? Could Charlotte actually go over? This would be nice. I always thought Natalya was just simply holding the title till they realized what they're going to do next. And poor Natalya, there really has not been any competitive storylines for her at all. She's really kind of swallowed up in this character of truly being this cat lady, which is awfully weird. We also got a title match tonight between Baron Corbin and Sakara for the U.S. title. And, of course, the winner takes on The Miz at Survivor Series. So that should be interesting. I'm excited about tonight, man. I really am. Now, granted, every time I get excited, I always get let down. And when I'm not excited, it turns out to be a great pay-per-view. It turns out to be a great show. But tonight should be interesting. I want to recap once again the Survivor Series that's going on. Enzo and Kalisto, that's in the book. That's going to be part of the kickoff show. We got the Raw Women's Champion, Alexa Bliss. She's going to take on either Natalya or Charlotte Flair. We have The Miz, who's going to take on either Sakara or Baron Corbin. Then we have this unbelievable, talented, loaded roster. Team Raw, Angle, Wyatt, Balor, Samoa Joe, and Triple H. Takes on Team SmackDown. Shane, Randy, Bobby Roode, Shinsuke Nakamura, and the great John Cena. Now on the women's side, 5-on-5. Team Raw, Alicia Fox, Nia Jax, Asuka, Sasha Banks, and Bayley. They're going to take on Team SmackDown, Becky Lynch, Carmella, Naomi, and Tamina. There's one more slot. One more slot available for Team SmackDown. This is when I think Paige could possibly make that appearance. Or not. It could also be the young lady who loses the women's title tonight. Sorry, the match for the women's title. Could be Natalya, could be Charlotte. Could be one option there. Raw Tag Team Championship, Cesaro and Sheamus. Sorry, Raw Tag Team Champions, Cesaro and Sheamus versus the SmackDown champions, the Usos. Now, originally going in there, it was going to be the Shield versus the Usos. Changed their mind. I was excited about that. Brock Lesnar, AJ Styles. There you go. Not to mention, I do believe that obviously this match will go on between AJ and Brock. Where's Jinder play into this? Does there really need to be interference? Does there really not need? There's no need for a clean finish? Of course there could be. But you're going to make somebody look like a hero, even if they lose. And I still think this is going to probably piggyback on the fact that AJ versus Jinder in India. And, of course, last night it was confirmed. The Shield, Ambrose, Roman, and Seth versus Big E, Kofi, Xavier Woods, The New Day. I'm excited for this, man. I've been excited since I knew what was going on for Survivor Series. You didn't have to sell me, but they did. I was going to watch. Like I wasn't going to watch. Follow us on Twitter at Live Morning Show. We're always live tweeting during every Monday Night Raw, every SmackDown, and of course, all the pay-per-views. Follow us on Twitter. It would mean a lot. It would. It would also mean a lot if you subscribe to the show. Now, the first hour, we talked a lot about Triple H and Jason Jordan. There are a lot of people out there, if you ever go online, there's people who actually have compassion for Jason Jordan. That's true. For the most part, they're not feeling Jason Jordan. They're not feeling this, aw shucks, baby face, reminiscent of Rocky Maivia. They're not feeling it. And some people are buying into the fact that he's getting special privileges because he's the son of Kurt Angle. Which, by the way, I want to see the DNA test. But I like this, though. They can go in any direction. He can continue to get this type of heat. Because a lot of people are not buying into it. And then someday he's going to snap and he's going to become a great heel. That's got to be the direction. Because right now he's pissed off. And there's two ways it's going. He's going to betray Kurt. He's going to piss off somebody. Or this is just more momentum. Continue with the gimmick of being in the face. Let's not lose sight of the fact the guy can wrestle. He's actually very, very good. Very good. So he's got that built in. Now his mic skills obviously need some work, and they're still polishing the gimmick of this great athlete who's the son of an icon. But it should happen. The number is 844-627-3352. You can call or text. Want to hear from you. What's your opinion? There's a lot to talk about. A lot happened last night. So, ladies and gentlemen, and by the way, they're going to be in Houston. And obviously, that's the home of Booker T, but more importantly, that's the home of the reigning, defending, undisputed World Series champions, the Astros. Oh, by the way, we got to see Reddick from the Astros. He's a huge mark. And you know he's going to be sitting front row. And only that, he'll probably have that custom-made Astros title that was shipped out to him. We might see some other Astros there. Maybe we see J.J. Watt. Man, it was amazing, man. You know, last count was almost $40 million he raised for the relief fund in Houston. It's something else. I mean, he should be obviously on the ballot for the Walter Payton Award this year, without a doubt. If he doesn't win with the landslide. What he did was amazing. So there's going to be that special feeling in Houston. I'm excited about that. I do have to tell you a story before Coder comes on the line. Trying to get my tickets, and I tried to get my tickets the day it came out for the 25th anniversary. I've been to Barclay probably 100 times. I don't want to go. And by the way, if you've never been to Barclays Center, first of all, a lot of people will go there and they'll just buy cheap seats sometimes, for the most part. You guys realize that upper deck at Barclays, don't get tricked. They're the tightest seats. Even if you're a skinny person, they are the tightest seats, no leg room. It's a blood clot waiting to happen. So I didn't want to go to Barclays. I wanted to go to the Hammerstein Ballroom. So tickets for the Hammerstein were starting out at $475. And then I last checked a couple days ago, and I can't do it. They're in the 600s. There's no way. So that kind of just ruins my entire thing. Oh, wow. He's on the line, ladies and gentlemen. One of my favorite segments anytime we do the show.
It's the Code Break with Brent Coder.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have Mr. Coder on the line with us right now. Coder, good morning.
Good morning, Mardel. What's going on, brother?
Nothing. I'm very excited that you're on the show. Not to mention, very excited. We actually have a lot of things to talk about because Raw has been and SmackDown's been but last night was awesome. So give me your thoughts about last night, Coder.
Oh, wow. I mean, where do you even begin? All kinds of crazy antics last night and storyline development. We got Triple H back. We got Jason Jordan with his Rocky Maivia moment.
Yes.
And we got Bray Wyatt back in the ring. And, lots of changes to the card on the Survivor Series. So I wouldn't even know where to begin. But obviously a great Raw, a great go-home show that's definitely got me way more interested in the Survivor Series than I have been.
Well, I tell you what, the one thing I'll take away from last night, first of all, it was awesome. Once again, hats off to everybody in Atlanta, Georgia. That was awesome. Triple H coming out, we kind of suspected something. He's been in a lot of matches overseas, getting the ring rust off, joining the Shield one moment, doing this another moment. And finally, he comes out. And, of course, we all knew when Bray attacked Jason Jordan, he was limping. We knew something was going to happen, and there was going to be another man, and it was Triple H. That's probably the lead storyline. One other storyline, though, that pretty much dominated Twitter last night and the internet, the rumors of Paige coming back. And it was supposed to happen last night, supposedly, to all these reports, and I don't buy into it. But she was trending last night. Trending because of speculation. So my question to you, there's one slot open tonight on SmackDown. Do we see Paige tonight on SmackDown, or is this something we're going to have to wait for after Survivor Series? Go ahead.
Well, I mean, that certainly could happen. Or we could see her get involved in the Survivor Series match in some way. That would be a big way to come back and make an impact. If she were to help her team win or cause them to lose, depending on whether, I would assume she'd be back as a face because she's been gone for so long. It'd be hard to really put her over as a heel right away. But, yeah, that's certainly a possibility. That would be cool to see her on the SmackDown roster. Problem is they don't have enough time for the women they already have on the roster on SmackDown. So adding another, I don't know if that helps anybody. So I think, for my money, I'm a fan of Paige. I'd rather see her on Raw. But we'll certainly see what shakes out this evening.
Well, I thought the same thing. But if anybody could automatically become the top female in that division, and let's face it, the momentum for Charlotte, the momentum for Naomi, the momentum for most of these other girls on SmackDown, no one's really had, unfortunately, not anything against them. They haven't had the opportunity. We joke about it, but oh my God, it's the reality where it's literally the same storyline. They're backstage. They bicker. It's a fatal 4-way, fatal 5-way. It's a 2-on-2. It's a 3-on-3. Paige would come in. She would dominate. And then she'd bring this whole new freshness to SmackDown. Now, saying that, Raw does have some dominant females. It's a little bit cluttered. But I think Alexa Bliss, she's doing her thing. She'll continue to be champion for a while. And there's a lot of people that are probably next in line on Raw. The other thing that come out from last night, AJ Styles, Brock Lesnar, it heats up. I talked earlier in the show, we don't really need to sell this. We don't need to sell it. It's Brock Lesnar versus AJ Styles. It was great to see Paul. It was great to see Brock with that facial hair he's starting to grow. Makes you think he may be working out for UFC. You excited about AJ and Brock?
Oh, of course. That's going to be just an exceptional match. Just a dream matchup there. And, you know, a clash of styles, if you will. You know, in the a true clash of styles there in the ring. You know, you got a big man, and you've got a more finessed, one of the top in-ring performers. I mean, Heyman did an awesome job of putting both guys over, but certainly gave AJ his props. We got a wedding proposal in the middle of a promo. That's,
right.
I think, a first. I mean, how about that crowd last night?
It was awesome.
They were great, beginning to end. They were in it. They were invested, and that always makes the show. That always makes a show better. The crowd in WWE is truly the 12th man, and can make a bad show good, a decent show better, and a great show awesome. And last night was a great show, and they responded, and it certainly helped just about every segment they were truly involved in. Maybe outside of the Miz's segment, which kind of dragged a little bit.
It really did.
But for the most part, they were into it. So.
The other thing to come out from last night, for a couple things. One, the annoying usage of the original Shield. And I mentioned this on Twitter. The original Shield compared to what? What are we talking about? Was there another wrestling faction that we didn't know about? Are they talking about the Michael Chiklis Shield? Are they talking about the agents of Shield? What are they talking about? It continued. Michael Cole would say the original Shield, which I thought was cringeworthy and annoying, but we saw the original Shield. They came out last night. They challenged New Day. Obviously, now it all makes sense why they dropped their titles. It's New Day. Obviously, has a huge fan base, a lot of love people have for New Day, and of course, a lot of love for the Shield last night. And not only that, they came out in some great conversation between Roman and Stephanie. Where have you been? Well, let me ask you a question. Where have you been? You got put through a table, and then Roman goes, by your husband. So that was good to actually see a promo work from Roman Reigns. So that was probably one of the bigger things. They took on Miz and The Bar, a very solid match. And I makes me think, because New Day pretty much has been very instrumental in 2 attacks, or appearances, I should say, on Monday Night Raw, do we see the Shield tonight on SmackDown?
We're going to see somebody from Raw on SmackDown. I don't know if it's going to be the Shield or the whole roster or, you know, what goes down, but I would expect to see part or all of the Raw roster on SmackDown tonight. I mean, they have yet to get true revenge, and, you know, it's all certainly been laid out for a invasion of SmackDown tonight. So I don't know what we're going to get, but I'd love to see the whole roster, or, you know, maybe it's just the Shield or whatever goes down, but it's certainly going to be a great SmackDown tonight.
Now, obviously, our shows are titled by the date. The Wrestling Morning Show, November 14, 2017. But if we had to give titles for the show, a couple weeks ago, one of the shows would have been titled, I Was Duped. Because I was just I was livid. I was in a rant. I felt outraged because I was duped. There was no retaliation. Everybody said, yo, calm down. Retaliation is going to come on the Go Home show. I feel that tonight is going to be huge, and I'm excited. There's a couple great opportunities going on tonight. Corbin, Sakara, and then, of course, we have Charlotte and Natalya, But more importantly, we're going to see everybody in full force. And now that Triple H is a factor into this, I think tonight's going to be awesome. I cannot wait. And I think you're right. We're going to see a lot of people from that Raw brand come to SmackDown and really give us back-to-back great go-home shows. Would you agree?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I would expect that. After last night's show on Raw, I would expect SmackDown to up the ante tonight and to see a great show, and certainly certainly some type of invasion angle is coming. I guess I'm a little more excited about the Charlotte match. I think we're going to have a new champion tonight. I think Natalie will drop the title, and we're going to see a new champion in Charlotte Flair. And we may even see Ric Flair tonight, which would be cool.
That would be awesome. And
all kinds of things could go down there.
No, I'm utterly excited. This is going to be awesome. And then, of course, I have to, even when we all knew the premise of Survivor Series and the card, a lot of champions versus champions, a lot of 5-on-5s, I was sold for Survivor Series. But now it's just taking the cherry on top. And more importantly, people are going to be tuning in next Monday and Tuesday, finding out. So this is a great, whatever they're doing television-wise, the first part of the month maybe was a little sluggish, but now, if they're really concerned about these November sweeps, they've done a fantastic job. Not to mention, one other thing I want to bring up, Jinder Mahal, the Maharaja. I'm still a firm believer that the Maharaja is going to beat Jinder. Sorry, the Maharaja is going to beat AJ in India, become the new champion. It'll be talked about in India. Excuse me. And now this is going to set up a consecutive series between Jinder and AJ, which will culminate at the Royal Rumble. Am I delusional on this, Coder? I always ask you this. Am I delusional, or do I have maybe a theory behind Jinder becoming champion very, very soon?
Well, it's certainly possible. It would make sense to do it in India. The hot rumor for his match in India currently is with Triple H, though. I don't know if that's official, but it's certainly been rumored over the last week that that's who he'll be facing. So in that case, obviously, that scenario wouldn't play out. But it would make sense if they're going to give the title back to him to do it in India. The rumor is that it would be Triple H against the Maharaja in India. They have a couple shows there, so maybe that's just one planned show. And there's bigger things for Jinder. I guess we'll see how that plays out. But I'm hearing a lot of rumors about Triple H versus Jinder in India.
I did see that. I thought they had a couple shows regardless, But there is also one more pay-per-view to end the season. That's December 17th in Boston, Massachusetts, TD Garden, Clash of Champions. And that's a SmackDown brand event. So you never know. It could be a very nice Christmas for the Mahal family and the 1.3 billion people of India. Obviously, that's the number one holiday in India is Christmas. All right, let's move on. Man, I tell you what, I go back to if there was an MVP last night, it would have to be Atlanta itself. But let's dissect this. Got a couple text messages early today. Also, not to mention everything that went on online. And by the way, big ups to everybody I communicated with online on Twitter. The hot topic was Jason Jordan for the majority of the night. So much hate for Jason Jordan. But I tell you what, I think me and you, we have calmer heads. Explain your theory, Coder, because I love it when you compare this entire scenario to Rocky Maivia. But compare this to Rocky Maivia for me. And also, realistically, plan out Jason Jordan. What do you think we're going to see in the next couple months coming up?
Well, I'm really hoping we see a true heel change, and it's been laid out. I mean, the crowd was very helpful in that, a la Rocky Maivia. They really, with Rocky, The Rock, they tried to put him over as this baby face with a pedigree. Very similar story to Jordan's in some respect. A generational wrestler. Which, by his storyline, Jason Jordan is.
He's gold-blooded.
Kurt Angle. Right, he's gold-blooded. So, you saw this coming. I mean, the fans weren't getting truly behind him as a face, and eventually they're going to turn on him. And last night we saw it with the thank you Wyatt chants and the na-na-na-na, hey, goodbye chants. As he limps from the ring, He did a horrible job of selling that, by the way.
Oh, it was horrible.
I think he might even limped on the wrong leg at one point. But regardless, that was a moment that was very similar to what we got with Rocky Sucks chance going down and the eventual heel turn for The Rock, which obviously made his career. And, Jordan is a great in-ring performer, not The Rock on promos, but, the Rocky Maivia wasn't The Rock on promos at that point. But when he became a heel, that's really what put him over, obviously. And he found his self, his gimmick, his character with that heel change. And I'm hoping that's what we see for Jason Jordan. I don't know if they're going to try and, continue to force him down our throat as a face, but obviously last night set up the potential for a heel change to happen maybe sooner than later. So very interesting develops around Jason Jordan, and I'm a fan. I think he's a great in-ring performer with a lot of potential. I love the gold-blooded storyline, and, I just love the potential here with this sort of Rocky Maivia storyline where he makes the heel turn and really comes into his own. And I certainly see that's where it's going over the next couple months. Whether that happens in the next couple weeks is yet to be seen. But certainly that seems like the natural progression here, and it's what the fans want. And if you got a guy that gets natural heat like that, why not?
100%. I'm thoroughly excited about this direction because he's getting some natural heat from the crowd. They really do hate him, and that is awesome. Not to mention now, he's moments away from just snapping, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see him in some capacity at Survivor Series. But if we do, I'm trying to do the right thing, Dad. Maybe he messes it up. Speaking of the 5-on-5 Survivor Series, in recent memory, have you ever seen a collection of great superstars and future Hall of Famers and icons? Refreshing your memory, I know you know this. Angle, Strowman, Balor, Samoa Joe, Triple H, versus Shane O'Mac, Randy, Bobby Roode, Shinsuke, and John Cena. I mean, this is loaded. I mean, in recent memory, have you ever seen a 5-on-5 like this?
I really haven't. I mean, and, some of this has developed just in the past week. Obviously, we had Triple H last night, and then actually while we were on the air talking SmackDown last week, Shane O'Mac announced Xena. So, I mean, just two enormous, huge legend Hall of Famers added within the last 7 days, which just really took this over the top. And I was with you. Like, it was already a great lineup. It was already, something I was looking forward to. And, obviously there was one spot still left open on SmackDown, and now they've added two Hall of Famers. I mean, it should be great. And, I'm interested to see what storylines fall out of this. You've got Triple H, who we're obviously going to see again come Mania time, and maybe even a run all the way through Mania. He may, be a part of Royal Rumble, and for the next few months to come, does he develop a feud either on his team or with somebody on SmackDown? Is it with Xena? Who knows where this thing could go? And then you've also got Xena in the mix now, who could also develop a potential feud coming out of this that could lead to Mania with either somebody on his team or somebody on the opposite team. So, and then not to take away from the other guys, I mean, you've got Balor and Samoa Joe, who recently had a great match against each other, and I'm hoping continues their feud outside of the Survivor Series. So I feel like there's a lot of storylines that could really fall out of this match that I'm probably most excited about. The match is the match. It's a 5-on-5 match, and one team's going to win. Is it SmackDown or Raw? I don't get that excited about it. What I'm excited about is all the people in the ring and the potential storylines that could fall out of this. It could get really interesting.
Well, this is what I'm excited about. I am so excited to see how he the Bacon himself, Mr. Kevin Owens, takes part in this and what's going to happen tonight. I think, I'm just, there's so many different things that could happen with Kevin Owens and how he could affect Survivor Series. And could this set up between another feud with KO and Shane O'Mac? Something is going down. So we had this unbelievable Raw. We know it's going to kind of, we know a little bit of the layout for SmackDown according to some of the matches tonight. But the one thing that I have no idea, and we talked about this, and one of the more brilliant ideas you've had, or actually we discussed it, was what happens if he actually beats some people up? And Shane has to rely on Kevin Owens. But somehow, some way, Kevin Owens and possibly Sami Zayn play a major factor. In your gut, what do we see out of Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn when it pertains to Survivor Series?
Well, I mean, my gut was telling me last week that they were going to probably take out a few people that are currently on the SmackDown team and, you know, create a couple spots for themselves. I mean, we talked about that quite a bit last week. But after seeing, you know, Jason Jordan taken out last night, it would seem to not make sense for that to happen again on SmackDown tonight where, you know, somebody's replaced or multiple people are replaced. So my money is on them actually interfering in the match at Survivor Series at this point. And you know, we'll see the potential threat of that again tonight, I think, play out with KO and Sammy teasing that idea and furthering the potential for them to get involved. But I just don't think it's as likely that we see them take some people out tonight and create spots for themselves after what we just saw with Jordan last night, which I'm honestly a bit disappointed about because I really wanted to see that happen. But I'm okay with them getting involved in the Survivor Series match and just being that X factor. When will they show up? Are they going to show up? What's going to happen with KO while the match is going on is certainly another added layer to the match.
I can't wait. And I would not be, first of all, there's no doubt that it was part of the storyline, them getting kicked out overseas. I'm not buying into that. I could also even go on a limb and say, well, no, I think they're being billed for tonight's show, Kevin Owens. But how awesome would it be if they actually just didn't even show up? And then people are like, hey, all right, where are they? So that would be awesome. All right, it's that time, Coder. One of my favorite segments is where I try to pick your brain and see where you were at last night when it comes to some of our Twitter poll questions. So, Coder, last night, one of the very, very first poll questions I put out was at the very beginning of Monday Night Raw, and I asked the world, what does your instincts say? Will Paige return tonight? So put yourself at pretty much 5 minutes into Monday Night Raw last night. What do you think the country said? What does your instincts say? Will Paige return? Your options are yes, no, at Survivor Series or later in the season. What do you think? What do you think they said last night?
Well, last night I would have said yes, obviously. I mean, that was the hot rumor out there.
Right.
And all the talk before the show. So last night I would have definitely said yes, but I would expect to see her at Survivor Series or potentially even later now.
Well, I tell you what, 37% said yes from last night. 32%, very smart, said no. Well, same old for Bray, a loss. Thank you, Wyatt Chance, were well-deserved. Looks like Jason Jordan's out. Who's a possible replacement? This happened right after Jason Jordan was holding his knee and then forgot it was the other knee. So then I threw out 4 options. Bray, Triple H, Kevin Owens, or still could be Jason Jordan. What do you think the country said and the world right when Jason started holding his knee? Who do you think everyone thought his replacement was going to be?
Wow. I think maybe they just thought Jason Jordan, you know, when he came back out there, I thought, you know, this was just going to be an angle where he was going to keep his spot. I really didn't expect Triple H to come out there and pedigree him. So I was thinking that he was going to keep his spot, and this was just to kind of, you know, look like they had a weak link So,
well, 41% at the time said Triple H. 26% said Bray. 18% still be Jason Jordan. 15% Kevin Owens. That was one of the options, which I would have loved to see. But there was just a lot of indicating with Stephanie, and that's why I was leading toward Triple H. With the addition of Triple H, is this the greatest collection of talent for a 5-on-5 match in WWE history? Options are yes, no, great, not the greatest, or too close to call. Those are your four options. This is the greatest collection of talent for a 5-on-5 match in WWE history.
I mean, I'm going to go with yes here. It's certainly, I can't think of another 5-on-5 match that we've had with this much talent, legends and potential Hall of Famers in it. So I'm going to go with yes all the way.
I would go yes. Not only do we have legends, we have future Hall of Famers, and more importantly, we have some of the top guys in the business now. And why this hasn't happened in the past was because if you look at the people on the 5-on-5, they were all headlining matches for Survivor Series. Hunter, Randy, Cena, all these guys. Kurt was even around. Okay. Great Raw tonight. Finally a solid go-home show for the fans. What was your highlight from tonight's Raw? These are your four options. This one's kind of an easy one. Shield versus The Miz and The Bar. Triple H is the fifth man. The build for Brock and AJ. Or a hot open in Hotlanta. What was your highlight from last night's Raw?
I love the open, but I think Triple H was certainly the highlight. I did not expect that to happen. Obviously, it looks like the internet did. I missed that, but I didn't expect to see Triple H last night. I certainly didn't expect him to pedigree Jason Jordan. I just loved everything about what happened with Jason Jordan last night, and seeing Triple H come out to put a period at the end of the sentence there for him was great. So that was definitely the highlight for me.
Okay, the final question is also the pin question, so everybody out there could continue to answer these questions. We extended them a couple days. What match are you most looking forward to at Survivor Series? Brock versus AJ, the men's 5-on-5, Cesaro and Sheamus versus the Usos, or the Shield versus New Day? I'm a little surprised by this. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I got to go with Lesnar and AJ here. Just a dream matchup that I'm certainly looking forward to. Two of my favorites in the ring in what should be an excellent match. Obviously the 5-on-5 is certainly set up to be pretty epic, but that's definitely a match I've wanted to see, and definitely looking most forward to it.
Well, this question was asked probably a good 15, 20 minutes after Raw. 51 votes. Not bad. Surprised by some of the answers. Now, number one, 39% Brock versus AJ. Second, 37% The Shield versus New Day. Men's 5-on-5, only 18%. And 6% Cesaro and Sheamus versus the Usos. So, there's a lot of love out there, Coder, for Shield and the New Day. Coder, go ahead.
There really should be. I can't argue with that. Two of the,
the
best factions, possibly ever. I mean, they're going to go down, the New Day and the Shield. Potentially, will be in the Hall of Fame someday, a la the Freebirds. Two of the best tag teams and factions over the last, I don't know, how long's New Day been around? 3-4 years? I mean, they've certainly been at the top of their game. We've seen New Day involved in some of the best tag team matches with the Usos throughout the summer. And obviously the Shield is going to bring it. So I'm really looking forward to this match. I know you wanted to see the Usos versus the Shield.
That would have been great.
I think this will be a great matchup. There's other great matches ahead of that for me, but I'm certainly expecting a marquee matchup there. Like we've seen the New Day have with the Usos.
Well, I one of the greatest factions. I don't know. Time will tell. They're not on that level because if you think of the great factions of all time, they made cultural impacts and also broke through. So DX, Four Horsemen, just to give you an example. And I was a huge fan as a little kid of the Freebirds. So, especially Michael P.S. Hayes. Coder, this was a good show today. I appreciate you taking the time to be on the program. We're going to have a lot to talk about coming up tomorrow. I'm super excited, especially for bacon. Anything else on your mind, my friend?
That's all I got, man.
All right, thank you for your time, and we'll talk a little bit later. Thank you, Coder. Have a good one.
All right, you too, Mardel. Talk to you tomorrow.
It's the Code Break with Brent Coder.
Well, it's always great to talk to Coder. We actually had a lot to talk about. Coder's a busy man. Follow Coder at CodeRock874. That's CodeRock874. That's available on Twitter. Go to his website, CodeRockStreetwear.com. He actually has a lot of cool things on his site. And we're probably going to have a very special show coming up this weekend. We'll announce it. We always have a pay-per-view show. It usually happens before the pay-per-view, or it usually happens after the pay-per-view. But we will let you know. So many cool things occurred last night. I mean, it's just we can't talk enough about what occurred. Now, yes, I am excited about the Shield versus the New Day. I like the direction the New Day is going into, a little bit tougher. I might have to bring this up. Maybe online tonight. I don't know if I fully believe what Coder said about being one of the greatest factions of all time. Definitely solid. You know who I'll put up there no one talks about? The Nexus. I used to love those guys. I loved everything about the Nexus. I thought it was a missed opportunity, not only with Nexus, but with Wade Barrett. But we don't even have time to discuss that right now. Trying to go on the website right now for the WWE. There were some things besides the 2 title matches. I think they mentioned what SmackDown, some of the cards for that. Oh, okay, that's right. So I believe, yes, it's New Day versus KO and Sammy. We'll also see an appearance by Daniel Bryan. So that should be exciting. I'm excited about this entire thing, but not to mention, I'd love to see Alexa Bliss versus Charlotte. Don't get me wrong. We're going to see something tonight. It's 2 hours. Everything's going to be packed in. Of course, we're going to see the retaliation tonight. I'm so excited to actually live tweet, as a matter of fact. Sounds so stupid. I'm so excited to live tweet. I am a loser, but you got to own the fact. If you're a loser, you got to own the fact that you're a loser. It's the most important thing about being a loser, because everything else, just a cherry on top. Okay, tomorrow's show, obviously, we do it at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and hopefully you guys could be a part of it. Because we're going to have a lot to talk about. Tomorrow, it's going to be our go-home show before the pay-per-view. And we're also going to be asking a lot of questions to you guys on Twitter later on tonight. Wouldn't that be something? As they're supposed to fill the slot for the 5th woman, I think maybe if it's not going to be Paige, which are obviously they want to have maybe all eyes on Paige, if she does debut the Monday after. And maybe it just comes down to Natalya or Charlotte, whoever loses. Don't know. 10:52 Eastern Standard Time. We're about to wind down this program. Sorry, got carried away looking at some information that I wanted. Because there's a lot of things that are going to play into not so much Survivor Series, but after Survivor Series. There is not a champion. So they're going to have 30 days to actually build this up. I could see Jinder Mahal being a factor against AJ at Survivor Series. And then we have Night of Champions. And then Jinder retains. He goes into 2018 as a champion. Only to go back to what I originally thought, and a lot of you guys thought as well, Jinder versus AJ Royal Rumble. And of course, the world would like to see the momentum of AJ versus Nakamura at WrestleMania. I'm a firm believer of that. They've teased it. especially at Money in the Bank. That was awesome. We're going to ask for some of your feedback coming up online. We're to make we're in developments right now, Broadcast Row and the Wrestling Morning Show, of developing a weekend live show. Try to reach all audiences out there. There's nothing like having a live wrestling show. Well, I could just listen to it on demand. Yeah, sure you can. There's something about being live which is appealing. Not to mention, I enjoy being live. So we've had a great response for people listening live in the morning, but the majority of people obviously listen on demand, which is fine. As long as you listen, I don't care. But developing a show very soon for the weekends. Now, people say, well, why don't you do the night? Well, Monday, preoccupied with that thing called Raw. Tuesday, that thing called SmackDown. And there's other events going on throughout the week. Could we do it Friday and Saturday? A little bit risky. Maybe an afternoon show, a drive show, a go home. Literally, when you're going home, unless you work nights, then be going to work. We'll keep you guys posted about that. So I'm excited. There's a lot of things coming up here with the Wrestling Morning Show. And I always appreciate you guys. You know that. Well, we've talked a lot. We've talked a lot today. There was so much to go over. I want to thank everybody who shot out some text, people who listen, people who are live tweeting, fine folks I met all over the internet. I want to thank Coder for being on the program today. Follow me at CodeRock874. Thank everybody here at Broadcast Row, the network that provides this great programming. Also want to thank everybody here at the Wrestling Morning Show. That's utterly important, of course. We do the show again tomorrow at 9 a.m. That's 9 a.m. Eastern. The show is going to go to podcast form, on demand, available on iTunes, Google Play, Spreaker, Stitcher, SoundCloud, YouTube, iHeartRadio. For all information you need, go to thewrestlingmorningshow.com. It's been fun today. A lot to talk about. I could not wait to talk to you guys after that great Monday Night Raw last night. Subscribe to the podcast. Do me a solid. You can subscribe to the podcast in iTunes and Google Play. All right, ladies and gentlemen, for everybody listening in the States and around the world, thank you so much, and be good.